Again, welcome everybody. We are live on Facebook. It is August 30th, 2023, and it is the blue moon in Pisces, correct?
Yes.
Woohoo! All right. And I would like to tell everybody that I have two guests with me in person. Joanna Green, that is usually here with me, is visiting. I'm gonna just turn this around slowly so everybody can see. There's Joe. And a new visitor, first time for this meditation in person, is Lee.
Hello.
Hi. And of course, the lovely Mickey. Hi.
Oh, hi,
Mickey's
everybody.
coming from England.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, hello. So the full moon for you is actually on August 31st, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I know this whole time zone thing, and I think about
I'll have to look. I just pulled up the chart and
so
I
it's
hadn't
9,
noticed
10,
that
11, 12, 1, 2. So it's like about 2:30 in the morning for you when it,
What time is it going to be there in EST?
I believe it is 9:30
At night. Okay.
in
Well,
this
5
evening.
hours from that. So it's 2
Right.
a.m. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. I know. So I do believe simultaneous time. I don't care what Mickey says, what time it is. We are here at the same time.
Yes, we are.
The world just doesn't connect with the fact that we're on the same time.
I think that we are becoming more and more reminded constantly about the truth of time not really existing. The fact of the constant now. I think that particular thing is beginning to come out in at this point in civilization. We're learning more and more about how to reevaluate the way we look at time and about what's going on at any given time.
Absolutely.
So, more and more, there are things that confuse how you see things because to you, it's the middle afternoon, and to me, it's early evening.
Mhm.
And to others, it's early late at night, early morning already.
Exactly. But we can be talking in real
Yeah.
time at the
Right.
same time, which
Right.
really leads me to believe that simultaneous time is really the correct way
Yes.
of
Well,
things.
it's like that thing where Einstein said everything is relative. Now, at the time, I don't think a whole lot of people paid serious attention to it. But as time has gone on and, this has come out, there are more and more international scientists that actually paid attention and have begun to pick that apart and see, well, just what did he mean? I
Mhm.
think, to me, it reminds me of Seth because that's what he's saying. Everything is relative. There's no one particular thing. We simply choose a particular now. We choose a personhood. We choose what that person will go through. We've chosen all these other things. So I think man is being herded gently down a certain awareness path. And I like that we're reminded all the time, by confusing time. We're constantly reminded.
Right. And us as healers, we've experienced timelessness,
Right.
during sessions and it's, it's almost normal for us. And I get it that, the sun moves in a certain way and it causes shadows and darkness and light, but time is still the same for everybody. We
Yeah.
just view it in different ways.
It's simply a ruler. It's
Yeah.
a system of calibrating things in a way that helps us remember them in a sequence, in a certain sequence, when sequence doesn't actually exist or matter or anything. But we've created these other ways of cataloging and storing our experiences. And one of them we call time.
Right, right, right. Now I have to say, I see Audrey on.
Hello, Audrey.
Um, How weird. I don't know that we are on live.
Oh, really?
It says we're live, but I cannot see it on Facebook.
Oh,
Um,
that's interesting.
that is interesting. So if I can't see it on Facebook, that means I can't see what people are commenting on either.
How Mercury retrograde of it.
Oh, well,
You are live.
it is live because Joe, oh, wait, I can see me now.
Oh, good.
Oh, I can see me now. Oh, so Audrey says you are live. Hey, hi, Audrey. Thank you for that. That is so funny. And I'm just,
I can see me now.
all right. So yeah, okay, there it is. I got it.
Erica.
Erica. Hi, Erica. Okay, so now everybody's saying
Hello, Erica.
definitely hi. Thank you, everybody, for all that. You know, Mercury retrograde is kicking my butt.
This one is not going to leave anybody out.
No, it's kicking my butt. I mean, I have had so many weird things happen this week, and I feel very discombobulated. And, you know, phones have been working weird, internet's been working weird. I've had stuff in my house that stopped working, and then, you know, I'd have to stop doing what I'm doing and then spend time trying to fix those things. And so I thought today everything was good.
Well, for me, it's not been that the things were bad. It's just that there's been an enormous amount of sleight of hand and confusion. I mean, at 5 a.m., I canceled a doctor's appointment that said I needed to be there at 8:15. That's not going to happen with me. Everyone who knows me knows
You make afternoon
that's not my time, So it made me wonder, well, why would I have even made an appointment at that time? That sounds suspect. And long story short, it turns out that they not only had made the appointment, put it down themselves, they had gotten wrong the fact that someone was supposed to be coming to my home. And by the time I called them to apologize for canceling, they let me know, well, someone's going to come and blah. And I said, oh, he just left. So it's been that kind of day all along.
Okay.
All right. They had multiple things screwed up. Where for me, today was fine. I have no problem. Well, I saw who you're talking about. Oh, yeah, he's lovely. He's gone.
All right. Yes.
And several other things like that have been going on. So I just kind of.
And how many, so we all know Mercury's in retrograde, and you know, that seems to be the most common one that we think about because it happens quite often because Mercury,
Right, 4 or 5 times a year.
short. But I understand there's maybe 6 planets retrograding right now.
They're going to be 7.
Okay, yeah. So
yeah, there's quite a
big
lineup.
energy.
The thing about retrograde, so that we're not all quivering in fear. Oh God, if Mercury's one is so bad, 7 of them must be horrible. No. Retrograde simply means, and by the way, it doesn't actually exist either. It's apparent. It looks like something's going backwards because we've caught up and, we're outstripping each other for a moment.
Right.
But the thing is that retrogradation simply means that things will be restrained and held back in some way. Energy that would have been going forward suddenly has stumbled over a rock in the road. And so that's what happens. Things become slightly askew from what they would have been. And you know that because the energy and the frequencies are all blah, 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 then things you thought were going to go a certain way because of your familiarity with the vibrations in your life. Oh, it's usually like this and this. Oh, why is it different? Oh, that's okay. It went back to normal. So that's all that's happening. It's where things are reacting slightly differently because the resonance is different. If you change the vibrations of what you turn to on a radio, you get a whole different channel.
Right. Exactly.
So you might turn it back and say, oh, what am I doing? Put it back where you wanted it. But that's all it is. Your ability to pick up and react to frequencies is slightly off from what you're used to.
Right. And the fact that it's Mercury right now, everybody knows that one is communications and electronics. So
Right.
for most people in this day and age, that's a real big deal. 200 years ago, that probably didn't make a difference at all.
Well, I'm sure that it had a way of making a difference in your life,
Yeah,
but
but not
people
the kind of
make a
impact it's
difference
giving
in
us
your life.
today.
Yeah, we weren't as close to each other and dependent on each other's reactions and so forth and so on.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it was a different world.
It it is a different world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I've really been looking into this one. I had a hard time finding stuff about the blue moon. And
Hmm.
and I'm not an astrologer. So I knew that the blue moon was the second full moon in 1 month. But there's more to it than that, right, Mickey? So it's there can be a calendar blue moon, and then there's a different kind of blue moon where it's 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 more than, let me think, more than six, no, more than three. So four in one zodiac.
You have three moons. You have three different moons that occur within the month. We used to two. We get together every 2 weeks. But the way the weeks fall in this particular month, you've got you had a full moon at the start, you had a new moon that came in the middle, and now we're back to a full moon again.
Right.
But it's the same thing, no bigger deal than the fact that some months on the calendar aren't 4 weeks, they're 5.
Right, right.
You know, the way the days flow and hit the number cycles on the calendar, it's simply another way of looking at things. And like I said before, anything to do with time or movement it's simply a ruler. It's
Mhm.
simply one of the tools we use to organize our experiences in a lifetime.
Right. And
So
I think,
whether that be hourly, minute, daily, yearly, whatever.
right. And way back when, the farmers used it to know when to
Exactly.
plant, when to,
Exactly. They knew that a certain moon at a certain time of year
Mhm,
was going to help things grow better, blah, 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 blah.
mhm.
And oh, don't do it at a certain other time of year because that's right before the weather becomes horrible and your little seedlings won't take it.
Right. Now,
You know?
generally, there's 3 full moons in a season or in the
Yeah.
quadrant. But and so this one is that kind of a blue moon. They don't always, do they always fall like that?
How do you mean like that?
Well, because there's 13 of them. So instead of,
Oh, well, yeah.
we look
Yeah.
at we look at
But
12,
they
12. There's
fluctuate.
Mhm.
Everything in astrology is about fluctuation and vibration. So anything I tell you is going to have another instance or two where it's not true. So I'm trying, as you notice, I'm
Okay.
trying to keep away from giving you definitions that are cut and dry definitions, because that's very much formal astrology. If I
Okay.
showed you what I have on the screen next to you right now, I
Oh,
have the charts up for the now and for what it's going to be and blah, blah, blah. But that's simply a language. It's like saying you speak English or French or anything else. You speak astrology. It's just that there are planets that stand for certain ideas. There are relationships between two planets where one planet means this, the other planet means this. But if they're getting along well, it can happen like this. But if they're not getting along well, then other things happen. So it's a language. That's all it is. And we're trying to capitalize on knowing when it's waiting for an assignment, and when it's grabbed the assignment we gave it and gone off to create it. That's the full moon.
and that's where we are now.
That's where we are now.
Okay. Woo-hoo.
We
Got
set
it.
our intentions up last time and
Yes.
said to be very, very careful about them. Because this is a ticklish. This is the biggie here. This is where you really do expect to get some return on what you put out there.
Right, right.
Okay.
And if people remember the last one, I got totally immersed in the energy that we were in and kind of got lost in the meditation and lost in the conversation. And it is the longest speaking with Kate 1 hour that we ever had. It was 2.5 hours.
But it's my favorite.
It was kind of amazing. It really
It
was.
was my favorite. I got 10 times more done. I
Beautiful.
had experiences that were 10 times as pleasant. You know, I mean, it was a biggie on a lot of levels in a lot of ways. And I was so grateful to have had a chance to expand what I was doing. I learned how to do it in a different way that was much more efficient. And then have gotten a lot of information between last time and now about how to use some of those things. You know, I've got new toys in my creation chamber and come back with a message for everybody. You
Beautiful.
know, toys over here, toys over here. Let me tell you how to get them, you know.
And that's really good to remind people. You know, I know that we come here 2, maybe 3 times a month. But I don't know how many times people do this in between.
Right,
Now, for those of you that are watching for the first time, I have pulled out just the meditations and I put them on the website, and they are also on YouTube. So you can do the and there's 1 through 7. This will be our 8th one. So, and they all build on each other.
right.
So we talk about the toys and the different rooms that we have, and on each one I try to at least revisit that they're there, put them in your memory again. But when we're not together, you can build and expand on any of the things that we have set up. Last one, we set up a whole village, but
Yes,
there were buildings there that are yours to create.
yes,
What purpose they're there for. I mean, we gave some ideas, but this inner world is your inner world. And Mickey and I are here to help you cultivate it. And
yes.
you're artists, right? You are painting your inner life, your real life.
Well, I will also say it might interest some to know that the laboratory or creation chamber that I'm in now is one that I actually created in 1980.
I
You
love
know, I mean, this is the same lab. I recognized it when we started creating this, when I was with you doing it. I went to a place that I knew
that. Mhm.
because I had previously created it. Now I've changed it dramatically. We've added things to go with what we've been saying, you know? So
Mhm.
my creation now resembles what we're doing. But it is the original patio garden. I recognize all of that, the little bridge, the pond, everything had been previously part of what I had projected was what I thought of as a beautiful paradisiacal place to
Right.
go create.
So I want to do a little bit of name dropping. So
Mm.
Mickey learned this way back in the 70s from Bert Goldberg.
Yeah,
And I have to say, Bert is one of my best teachers. I never met him in person. I own a lot of his meditations, and this is how I learned how to do this. So I agree with Mickey. Bert and I created these maybe 10 years ago, and now I'm trying to, you know, tell you, well, this is where it is, but it's yours to create, it's yours to
right,
decorate, it's yours to
right,
put in the pieces that feel important to you. Mickey has given me ideas, and I have done that. And then in the meditations, they morphed into something similar but different. So I adapt it as it happens. And then when I go into these meditations, I don't have a script. I used way back in the beginning when I called them meditations, they were scripts. Now I call them journeys, and I do not write anything. I go into the meditation, I let spirit take over, and I kind of either just describe what I'm seeing very generally, or I just let them tell me what to say. or
Mhm.
where to go. And it's funny, Mickey, I like it, we are so simpatico. She mentioned a pond. We have never done a pond, but I kept hearing all day today, we're going to visit a pond.
Really?
Now, now, for anybody that wants to Google this, not right now, but later, you can Google Burt Goldman Daisy Pond.
Oh, yes.
I know. Now,
Yes.
I had no idea about doing Bert's Daisy Pond, but you can, it's on YouTube. It is free for anybody to
Yeah,
download or
it's
listen to.
good.
It is so good.
It's very
So,
good.
I mean, you go to this pond and you can swim and you can breathe water and you heal, and then you fly to the mountaintops. I mean, like it's an amazing, amazing journey. But this is how Mickey and I learned from the same man. And
Yeah.
then Mickey and I met, what, 40 years later?
Yes,
Something like that.
exactly. At
And
least, because that was 1980 and 81.
2020 is
Yeah.
when, yeah,
So
2020.
we're talking 40 some years ago.
And
And
when
I had no idea then. I had no idea how profound the training was. And I had certainly no idea how famous the two of them would become. You
yes,
know, I mean, none of us realized what Silver Mine was
right.
going to
So,
be,
so
or
she,
Burt Goldman.
right. So Mickey took the Jose Silva mind method,
And
and
he brought in Burt.
he brought Bert in as a guest. He was one of his teachers.
Yes. Yeah, he was very
And
close with them. And he says, hey, you got to come and talk to my students and, share
yeah,
this. So
and
it was
then
wonderful.
let's blow everybody's mind one more time. And it was the Seth house and
Oh, yeah.
Seth teachings that brought Mickey and I together in the very
Right.
beginning.
Right.
So there really is no time, and there really is a method to the universe and
Right.
a path that, Mickey and I might have met in the 80s or the 70s, but we didn't. We met in 2020.
Right.
And everything worked, and it's fallen into place now. And I
Right.
just think, Linda Madden-Dahl says we live in a safe universe. She was also a student of Seth.
Right.
And I believe that we are in a safe universe, and we are here to learn and expand. And there is reasons why people come into our lives at certain times. And I'm so grateful for it.
When I met and learned about Seth and met Jane on the phone, we didn't meet face to face, we talked on the phone. And I was young, in my late 20s, and this was something, intriguing and exciting, all about channeling. Oh, wow. And I had already been a channel. So my going to her initially was to say, you do this quick. Tell me something about it, because this is blowing my mind. And that's where I was intrigued by her kindness to say from one channel to another, hey, let me tell you about this and this and this. And the point is, at that time, I was simply reaching out to someone, sort of like you Google something and say, oh, well, he knows about that. Go and look him up on YouTube. I had no idea how profoundly the Seth information would actually affect the rest of the world. And who knew that I'd be sitting up 50 years later, even more impressed than I'd ever been. I have to also say, no matter how much I thought I knew, and I had read all the books, for that time, there've been more books published, but who would know that you'd be 50 years later and be even learning new things about it? There are levels to what Seth shared. And until you master certain understandings about creating your own reality, those other things don't occur in your head. You don't deal with those things or process that knowledge because you're not ready yet.
Right.
Right.
But it's like rereading his book.
Yes. Yes.
Or revisiting Burt Goldman's meditations.
Right. But the thing is, you're different 20 years later.
Yes, it brings new, and it doesn't even have to be 40 years later. It can be 1 year later. It brings more to your life. I've read well, Seth Speaks and Nature of Personal Reality at least 3 times each. And I get more and more out of it. And I could just open the book, and what it opens to is exactly what I need to see.
Exactly.
And and it happens on YouTube too. I mean, it happens again and again and again. Now, Seth was brought to me in 2016, right? So I'm really new to the material. And I have, dove in feet first and immersed myself. And I have helped with other people's channeling. And I would always say, well, that's not me. I'm not empathic and I don't hear things and blah, blah, blah. And the 2 women sitting here with me are looking at me going,
Right. It's so funny to hear you saying that. God.
Because with this full moon and the Mercury retrograde and everything else that's going on, I have had the most bizarre week.
Yeah.
And God bless Mickey for being there. She was up until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Was it Sunday night, Monday morning? And she's like, now, Kate, you just need to calm down. Everything's going to be okay. But, I have helped and I have been there and I've supported other people. And I'm going to be honest with everybody. Some of it really scared me. And so much so that I would leave a room, I would whatever. And sometimes I didn't sit well with the people I was assisting because they felt that I was thwarting them or trying to shut them down or whatever. But it's a real fear, and fear is absolutely what holds us back. And
opposite of energy.
And this week, that kind of thing happened to me. I was shopping in a store. I almost passed out. I was with my daughter and my grandson, and they were wonderful about it. And, later that day, I found out that I had a whole conversation with somebody, and it was on text, and I didn't remember saying most of it. And I wasn't essentially very kind either. I was very blunt.
Sounds so Mercury retrograde.
Oh, I know. And it was like
You got exactly what I had left.
a 15-hour stretch of time where I kept walking in and out of my body, and I was like seeing it from somewhere else. And I was seeing, this person that calls herself Kate, and she's saying stuff, but I was thinking other things. It was just very bizarre.
That's what we're working with. We're talking about an entity, a soul, a spirit that is existing in hundreds of thousands of different realities at the same time.
Yes.
And we're talking about beginning to understand that you can decide to step from one path sideways onto a new one, or a new one, or a new one. Okay? It's not that, not only can that happen to folks, but you can decide when it will happen. You can decide on whether or not it will happen. And I think that in your position now, you're being shown a few things about those capacities.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But it still scared me.
Sure it is.
It did. But
When I
Mickey,
think of who I was when I first channeled, I was scared out of my mind.
right, you were a young woman. I mean, here I am. I've helped person after person. I have had channeling classes, and I have seen, but I reacted to me the same way, with the same kind of fear, when I didn't understand what was happening to someone else. And it scared me exactly the same way. I was able to get over it much faster once I figured that out, and once Mickey pointed it out, and then the person that I had that text message with, she's like, Kate, you didn't say anything. She's like, you didn't say anything bad, but I was more blunt than I would like to be. And I was truthful, but in the Kate that everybody sees, I wouldn't have been quite that blunt, I guess,
But now when you go back to your levels, you might want to pull that person up on the screen and talk to them. And say, now I got a chance to meet a bit of your life, see a little bit of what you're doing, and why did you want to reach out to me? Or did you have something else you wanted to share with me? Or was there something else I was supposed to get from it? You know, but you can dialogue, you can interact with that or any of your other selves.
Right. So when we do this journeying
Yeah.
and, we do the 3 to 1 count, we go down the steps and we're in our meditation or creation room. And you've got that quantum door that's right there, which we're going to
Yeah.
use today. And you just have to have the intention of speaking with or gaining knowledge from that particular self that
Yeah.
you want to talk to. And when you have that intention that that's the being, the person, the entity, whatever you want to refer to it as, that's going to be on the other side of that quantum door, when you open that door and go there, it is so.
Yeah.
And that's, in a nutshell, that's what we've been doing the last 7 sessions at least.
Yeah. Of course it is.
Right.
Well,
And
now people can stop wherever they want along that process. You don't have to actually speak to your other selves in the universe or in existence.
but it's
You can
awesome.
simply learn more and more about exploring who you are in this now
Mhm.
as you are. But
Mhm.
different people have a thirst for different levels of information. And mainly my thing is to let people know you and you alone can decide what level you want to access.
Yes.
Okay. And that you make those choices based on who you're willing to be to get to a new space. You know, when you go to a new level, for instance, then you get some real brand new skills and oh wow, I learned a lot and I'm processing it. And you might suddenly just discover that 2 or 3 people in your life dropped away and are gone. They won't necessarily say, now, I no longer feel I fit into your experience in this lifetime. No, they're not going to say that, but something will happen that will cause you to somehow diverge
Mhm.
in your previously together path. Don't get upset. You might have just gone to places they can't go.
Mhm.
That's not within their intention for their lifetime this time. So bid them well and keep going because they're about to be some other really exciting new people in your life that go with your new status.
Mhm. And the same for the other people too.
And it's hard to see that when you're upset that the others are gone.
It's true. Yes,
But
that is.
it's true, okay?
Yeah.
It's hard.
I really want to stress the point that you guys can do this anytime and you
Yes.
can and you have to know and well, I believe that there are unlimited me's, like absolutely infinite me's that have done everything, every possible thing is happening right now. And
Yes.
I can access any one of those me's for assistance, or I can go to them for assistance to give
Right.
them assistance. Sometimes when things get really bad, I just ask a bunch of them to help me.
Yes.
So, and then there's the healing parts and, then our creation areas. And so use these tools and make more tools and then let us know what the heck you're doing.
Yeah.
What tools are you creating? What are you making? Mickey's been giving me some ideas from the Jose Silva classes. And, when I started doing them, they changed a little, they morphed a little, and but they were very, very effective. And I never would have thought of the whole idea if Mickey hadn't prodded me on a little bit. So, and that's all I'm trying to do is just letting you know that you guys are infinite and it's your imagination is the only thing that'll hold you back. Anything and
Right.
everything is possible, right? Has everybody seen that movie? What is it? Everything and anything all at once, all at once.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
my God! I don't even remember the name of
Michelle
it.
Yeoh or something like that.
Yeah, something here, there, and everywhere. What a
Yes.
great movie!
Yes.
I
That's
get
it.
that.
Here, there, and everywhere. Yeah.
And the fact that the world is now getting it because it's on TV, it's in the movies. Time travel is a big deal right now.
Yes,
Multiple lives. I mean, you're
right.
seeing this on mainstream stuff.
Well, every particular way to live life, every particular religion, everything is much highlighted right now. It's all energized. You have all the five major religions. Everybody has a particular thing that they're screaming about at the moment. But this
Mhm.
is important. And the other one says, no, but this is even more important. And then you have those who say, none of it's important. I'm doing this. So it's all turned up because we are headed into a period when we will elevate our vibrations. The frequencies are changing. And that means everything else will change too. We're all going to make new choices about how we intend to experience being here. They're not going to all be the same.
Right.
That's the thing. There's no wrong way to do it
Right.
because we're doing all of it.
Because we're doing all of it. So with every choice you make, you're making both choices.
Right.
Or multiple ones,
Yes, there's another you that's doing it a different way, drastically from what you
Exactly.
just decided.
Right. Yeah, that was shown to me. This has been a remarkable month.
Yeah.
I turned 64 and my whole world is just upside down and changing all over the place. Woo! Gosh. So I'm just seeing Audrey and Erica on. I'm not seeing anyone else. Of course, this doesn't tell me if people are on, like who's on, unless they comment. I can see
Right.
numbers of people.
Well,
Yeah.
there's no way for you to know because even on YouTube, you won't see that for months and months. There are some YouTube lectures that I'm studying right now about frequency and vibrations and so forth, and a lot of ancient information, ancient historical information. And it tickled me because I was very, very impressed. And when it finished, I couldn't wait to get down and make a comment. And I looked, and the last comment was left by someone 8 years ago.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So hey, you never know.
Right. These are timeless for sure. So so Joe gives me her phone. Her phone says there's 6 people watching. Mine says 3.
Okay.
Huh?
Lynette.
Lynette Cartwright. Oh yeah. Oh, mine doesn't say that. Well, I don't, that is so bizarre.
I
So
received a
anyway,
request to be here from someone new to the site. So it'll be interesting to see if she was able to join us. She
nice.
did it.
And Facebook keeps these on forever. After they're over, I do edit them a little bit and I put them on YouTube. And now I'm also going to pull out just the meditation for those
Right.
that don't want to listen to all of this chit chat. But I think this is so important.
For some it will be, and for others, they just come for the meditation. That's okay. 'Cause
Right.
see,
Or they listen
8
to the
years
chit
from
chat
now, we don't
once.
know why someone will be doing it.
Right, but then they can do the meditation again and again and again. And
Right.
I do try to add some nice little background music that I wrote, and some, I'm trying to hone in my techie skills too. So I want to look at, here's what I found about this particular blue moon. It's associated with heightened emotions and intensified energy. Yes. This blue moon amplifies the effects of the full moon, making it a potent time for transformation and growth. Feel what you're feeling. The best way to take advantage of the transit is to be authentic. That way you'll feel good about moving on from whatever you're experiencing once the transit is over. Stay connected with your emotions and allow yourself to feel whatever arises. Practice patience, flexibility, and compassion, both towards yourself and others. And that is so important, that you're doing it for yourself.
Yes.
think about what needs adjusting in your life and prepare to put those thoughts into action. So think about those things when we're standing in front of that quantum jumping door. Use this time to evaluate your process, reevaluate your priorities, and make any necessary changes in preparation for what lies ahead. Embrace the transformative energy that this full moon offers and use it as an opportunity for personal growth and self-discovery. Engage in activities that promote relaxation and inner peace, such as yoga, meditation, or engaging with creative outlets. Surround yourself with positive energy and supportive people. And that's the main reason why Mickey and I come to you guys. We're supporting the path that you are partaking, but we're supporting the path that each one of us is on. And we're all in different places in this path, and we take different lengths of time to get somewhere. But I believe that we're all going to get to where we need to get to. It's just a matter of how difficult it's going to be. So like this week, when I was seeing that in and out, in and out, in and out between my higher self and my physical self that was walking around, it was like deja vu over and over and over again. I was remembering and I was analyzing what was being said down here, and it felt very, very disconnected, but it can be connective. And
Yeah.
doing these journeys is a way to connect with this higher self or source self or the God of you. Right. So Jane wrote her book and she called it The God of Jane. Well, let me tell you, there's a God of Kate, there's a God of Mickey, there's a God of Joanna, there's a God of Lee, and there's a God of Erica and a God of Audrey, and so on and so forth. And we are here to support one another. I want to say there's a God of Martin too. I don't see him on, but I know that he will listen to this one or he'll pop on. So
yeah, he will.
Definitely a God of Martin out there. So, and everybody else. And it is no better or worse than any other God.
No, that's right.
We're all a part of the all that is. And each one of us and every aspect of us is absolutely essential for the whole.
Right.
And so we have to learn the good things we do and the bad things we do.
Well, we've all agreed to be experiencing each other in the ways that we do, no matter how good or bad they are.
Yes.
We still made the agreement.
Yes.
To go through it. And that's because we're learning from it.
Right. And those that made the agreement to come here and be the bad guys, the Putins or the, whatever, Charles Manson, those kind of people, and much less horrendous than that. But, they agreed to give people an opportunity to experience those things
that
too.
level of extremism.
And that's just as important as the Mother Teresas and the Yoganandas of the world.
Well, I wouldn't have had the courage to come here and be some of those others, the fascists and the this and that, but it must take an enormous amount of commitment to agree to come read that particular script for our play.
Yes. But
the person on stage doing that.
Yeah. They're the ones with tomatoes thrown at them.
Yes. They've agreed to be there.
And I do believe in my heart that I did make those choices too. That to experience everything, that I had to make those choices to be some of those not as nice people, let's say. So.
Well, we're currently being, I don't know how many millions. They don't look the same. They don't sound the same. They're not in the same dimensions. They're not, the options, when you're talking about the whole universe, it's a lot to take in.
Right.
as
Yes.
an idea. It's a lot.
It is. It's absolutely unlimited. I mean, we can just think the simplest thing is, well, I'm a man and a woman, right? That's the simplest one. But then you're every gamut, every spectrum of that man and that woman, and you've experienced every job and every age and everything.
In many dimensions,
Yes.
with whatever the differences are in those dimensions.
Mhm, mhm.
So there's no telling. And if you wonder how strange it can be, just go look at some of those um, videos about what's down 5, 6, 10, 20,000 feet in the ocean. And when you get a load of looking at some of those creatures, they're very unusual from the catfish and the sharks that we're used to seeing.
Yes, they are.
We think we know what a fish looks like. Oh,
Right, right. Yeah,
a lot of other options.
absolutely. So, and there have been people that I've had a lot of apologies that, oh my gosh, I really want to be there, but I have to be somewhere else. So I know lots of people watch this in their own real time.
In their time, yeah.
Yep, whenever. So I definitely want to acknowledge all the people that are watching absolutely at this moment, no matter what time or day it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know where Spirit's going to send us today.
Well, let's get going.
Oh, the two girls sitting here just went, ooh,
Yeah, we're ready.
everybody's ready. Well, yeah, and I don't. We're gonna go into this. We're gonna do the old 3 to 1 count, and we'll look around our little place, visit, and I'm hoping to make it very open for everybody to do whatever they need to do, but we'll revisit some of the things that we've already created, take a peek, give you time to adjust things. And you know what? It's not just adding things. You can take things away that you aren't working anymore or don't serve you or, whatever.
Right.
Everything is up to you. Your imagination says it all.
Yeah.
So let's just all close our eyes. Let's just get grounded. Just take a deep breath in and out. Again, in and out. Beautiful. Now I'm going to ask that you visualize and say to yourself, 3, 3, 3. And take another inhale. 2, 2, 2. And another inhale. 1, 1, 1. Now know that with every deep inhale that you take, you go deeper and deeper into your meditative state. You're in a deeper, more conscious level of mind. Now I'd like for you to visualize, be in this space and feel that we're at the top of a staircase and the stairs are carpeted with thick plushy carpet. And on the right, there's a handrail and it's wooden and it's smooth. And you're in your bare feet. And as we go down the steps, feel the carpeting between your toes and the smooth handrail. And we're going to go down slowly, starting at step 10, 9, 8, deeper and deeper, 7, 6, deeper and deeper, 5, 4, 3, deeper, 2, deeper and deeper, 1. You are now at the bottom of the staircase and you are in your meditation or creation room. We have decorated this each time, adding a little piece here or there. take this time to look around. Mine has a couch and a lounge chair. There's a window. To the right is the quantum jumping door. And to the right around there is the elevator that goes up to the penthouse. To the left is the door that goes to our lab. And know that we can revisit any of these rooms anytime we like. But this time, with the readings and the talk that we've had so far, I want you to set your intention of what you would like to experience when we go out through our quantum door. It might be a place that you want to go. It might be to meet another self of yours that you want to talk with. It might be to join with your source self or your God self. Or maybe you just want to talk to God. This part is entirely up to you. Set your intention on what you would like to see happen. And we're going to stand in front of this door that we have created. And on the count of 3, the door is going to open. It opens outward. 1, 2, the door is opening slowly. 3, the door is open. And as we look out into this other dimension, we can step through the door, we can jump through the door, we can fly through the door. Whatever feels right to you is what you need to do right now. But let's go through the door onto the ground outside on the other side of this door. Now, last time we were together, we created a creek that was to our left and a bridge that crossed the creek. And on the other side of that creek is our village. We investigated multiple little buildings over there, and there are more buildings that will wait to be created by you. For now, though, we are going to walk alongside the creek, straight ahead. And it's a beautiful little meadow. And we're walking. And we can see that there's a little wooded area in front of us. We're just walking, or you could be floating or flying. Just take your time. Look at the colors. The grass is so green, greener than you've ever seen it. And the little flowers, meadow flowers of all colors. And you can hear, listen, you can hear the creek to your right, rushing over the rocks, turning corners. And take the time to listen, smell. Smell the soft, moist earth, wet from the creek. Listening to the water rushing. And you can hear, crickets, birds. You can hear the rustling of leaves and little animals, maybe little squirrels going up and down the trees. But you're in a beautiful nature surroundings. Now let's continue walking, and we're following the path in front of us that goes alongside the creek. Traveling a little bit further, and we see trees to our right. There's a beautiful path, and there's a bigger clearing ahead. Beautiful meadow where there's a pond, and we're going to call this the Daisy Pond. And I'm going to invite you to do that research on your own. to look up Bert Goldman's Daisy Pond. It's a beautiful meditation, very healing place, but it's right here. You have it. You can visit it anytime you like. But for this meditation, we have set other intentions, and each one of us has our own intention. So we walk past the pond, and there's another little clearing of trees, and we see a little fire pit there, and people around there, and they're playing drums, and it sounds so beautiful, and the melody feels like home. It's a very healing feeling. When you hear it, it sings to your heart, and it's in the distance. And you can wave to them so that they know that you're there, and appreciate the sound and the love that these people are spreading with the sound of their drums. Now walk past a little bit further. We're going to go to the next clearing. And in this next area, we are going to meet or visit or experience our intention. This is where your higher self will be, or your parallel self, or whatever experience it is that you set. And I'm going to give each one of you time to investigate this fully. So as we walk into that meadow, our intention is there. It could be inside or outside. It could be another building. Imagine it, and it is so. Now I will give you time to experience, speak with, explore your intention. each one of us feels so good that our intention has manifested in this way. If it is a being, thank them for joining us. If it is a parallel self, thank them for whatever knowledge they've imparted to you. Whatever your intention was, show gratitude that it showed up. And when you're ready, we're going to start walking back, following the path the same way we came out. Again, walking alongside the creek. You're hearing the drums in the distance as we get closer and closer. You feel the love and the healing that they bring. The drumming resonates with you. Let's visit the pond, the daisy pond, just for a short time. We walk over to the pond. It has wildflowers all around it, trees, and all kinds of wildlife. I see a deer and her fawn, and chipmunks running and playing, and all the animals here are tame and friendly. And as you look into the water, you see yourself. The water is clear, and below your image, there's beautiful little colorful fish swimming around, happy. You can reach down with your hand and take a sip of this beautiful, healing, clear water, if you like. You can even sit there and dangle your bare feet into it for a time. Know that when you are here at the Daisy Pond, this is a place of healing. It's a serene place. You can come here to just have a picnic, meet friends, or just be by yourself to meditate. You could go swimming if you wanted to. You can even breathe in this water. Let's just spend a couple of moments here. And as you're ready to get up and stand up again, wave and say bye-bye to all the little animals. And I'll be back. I love your home. And we continue walking next to the creek. And we can see our quantum door, and it's still open, going past our village. And there's our bridge. And anytime you like, you can cross that bridge and create whatever kind of buildings you see fit. And for today, we're just going to go back towards our quantum jumping door, go back into our meditation room. And before that door closes, just stand and just take in with a nice deep breath all the beauty and serenity and all the enlightenment that is on this side of the quantum door. It is yours for the experiencing. And now you're inside your meditation room and the door is closing. The door is closed. And you are in this beautiful space. And funny, you can still hear the drumming, the sounds of the creek, the sounds of the little animals playing, the wind rustling. You can still hear them as all these things that are your creation still exist. Now, if you want to visit any rooms that are in this space, your lab or your penthouse, you can do that now. I'm going to give you a few moments if you want to add any decorations. Did you bring any wildflowers back? Create a vase with water in it from the daisy pond and place your flowers in there. Now it's time to come back to this room, this space where we started, up those stairs. And I'm going to count from 1 to 10. We're going to walk up those stairs. And we'll be back in this room. And you'll be able to stretch, come back, and share your experiences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're coming up very nicely. 6, 7, 8, 9. Take a deep breath in and out. 10. We're back. In this time, in this place, stretch a little, wiggle around, open your eyes. Oh, and join us. What people were saying. So Audrey said, it was very interesting. I heard crickets outside right before you mentioned crickets.
Oh, wow.
I just realized I don't hear them anymore.
I heard them too.
I heard that.
Yeah, well,
Here you go.
they're not, I don't hear them anymore. We all heard crickets, but they went to sleep now. I don't know.
Water, the sound of the water going.
Wait, you cut out, Mickey. What? Say that again.
I also heard the sound of water rolling over the rocks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. So when I do these journeys, I kind of just describe, and I try to be very loose about what I'm seeing. And it's what they're showing me and what we're finding. And, just know that sometimes I do very specific things, but lately it's been, I think these are building so that you know how to create your own experience. So I try to make it as loose as loose as a goose, as they say.
We also need to be sure people understand when we speak of folks who are drumming and who wave and send love and so forth, they are just outside the edge of your particular place and in a place of their own, because no one can ever come into your creative space unless you invite them.
Yes.
So they're very peripheral. They're not literally in your part of the grounds. They could be like when your neighbor's out in their backyard and you're in yours, and you can see them having a great time, having drinks, waving, "Hey, how you doing? Fine. How are you?" And then you go on about your business.
Mhm.
But the main thing is, Bert and everybody always stress, no one can be in your creative lab space unless you invited them. Usually you'd be inviting them onto a screen so that you can communicate, but no one can be in that space without your permission.
Right, right. So last time we all kind of joined, right, in the journey. But again, it is entirely up to each and every person. And this is your private space. And what you see and feel, no one else sees and feels what you see and feel. Right. So yes, yes, love it. Love it. So what else do we, so this full moon, everybody should definitely put your crystals out, get outside with your bare feet on the ground, right? Get your blue, if you have a blue bottle, get your water in it, make that moon water. It's out. Oh, good. Awesome.
But it's not blue.
Blue glass.
It's not blue glass.
So it's so funny. Years ago, when I first learned these things, I wanted to buy 2 blue bottles, one for moon water and one for sun water. I got 2 cases. So for you ladies, I will go look in my cellar to see if I can find some extra bottles. Yeah. So yeah, so that's why like I gave the Seth house has 2 bottles because Jane always had 2 blue bottles on her window, right, where she did her channelings. So over at the Seth house, there are blue bottles that I gave to them. And yeah, crazy.
That's funny.
It's clear and it's sitting on the deck railing.
There you go. Well, I'll see if I can find you a blue one. I'll get you one. So nice.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add, Mickey?
No, I'm good. I'm just over the rest of the week, I shall be going in and out of that and tweaking what I'm putting in my lab, putting in there to work with. So I'm looking forward to that. This was great. This is wonderful.
Nice, nice. Yeah, for me, it was definitely trying to reach out to the energy that's been happening and trying to put it all in place and, try to come to a place of understanding because this is, here I am doing these things, but this is all new to me. I've helped other people. I have assisted them. I've supported them, but I have not felt this stuff. I have not gone through this myself. And, I really do. I'm so grateful to Mickey because I was pretty distraught when I called her and she sat with me for 2 hours until I felt good enough. And then I had a good night's sleep and I woke up, and it felt kind of more normal, I guess. But I don't think things are ever going to be exactly old normal because new channels are opening up and it's exciting. I'm ready for this next phase. And Mickey has helped me to, release the fears because I think the fears are what was blocking me and holding me down. And now I can see that there really is nothing to be afraid of. It's because it's becoming unknown, whereas before it was an unknown. And most fears that we have, it is about the unknown. Yeah. So if anybody, wants to talk, wants to, certainly add comments, whether it be on the YouTube channel or right here on Facebook. Please feel free, or if you just want to privately, I'm pretty accessible, private messaging and, it's interesting, like, Lee kept calling me by accident. And
It's like, what the heck?
It was-
I didn't drink. Yeah.
And she's like, I'm so sorry, I never do this. Okay. And then she shows up. So, I mean, everything is meant to be. And I love all of you. And I'm so grateful that I have such a loving, supportive community because I'm learning right along with everybody else. Thank you, God.
That's what it is. Everybody here on the planet is learning with everybody.
Right.
We're just learning different stuff.
Yeah, it's so, and it's so cool that, you know, Mickey learned from same teachers that I'm learning from now, but she learned from them. Like she was in the same room with them, or she spoke with them. You know,
Yeah.
I'm either listening to videos or I'm reading books. And so it's a different way of learning. And I feel like I'm on, I don't know, warp 9 or 10 or whatever it is, you know, I'm on that trajectory. So
But it's the same frequency. When each of them speaks and it's on a video, you are listening to them speak. You know, it's the same. It's the frequencies existent at that time.
So here's a thought. Here's a thought. I know I did this back when we used to do Seth Talk. We had this one, I did a meditation where we went to the apartment number 5. And when I knew Seth was having a discussion group, and at that exact time when they took a break, we all came in and visited. Maybe we'll try some of that again. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that Joe said she was in the apartment, so I did take her there physically. But yeah, but we can go there metaphysically back when Jane and Rob are doing their thing and Seth is talking, and yeah.
Point in history, yes.
And know that no matter who your teacher is, you can make that intention that you want to meet that teacher.
Yeah.
And in a certain circumstance, I mean, oh, okay, just say you wanted to meet Mary Magdalene. You know, you can intend that you go during that time and you're going to meet in a whatever, in her house or in someone else's house, whatever. Just set your intentions about what you would like to get out of that meeting and who you want to have there. And it can be that easy. You can meet with George Washington if you want, or, you know, whatever. Yeah.
Not into war.
Well, whatever. Just, you know, it can be historical figures. It could be futuristic, something. So just, you know, your imaginations, let them run wild. Totally.
Yes.
Run.
Yeah, that can be quite an experience.
Mm-hmm. And because it is, first of all, it is safe, and it is your perception of what's happening. It is just you.
Right.
Like he said, nobody else can interfere. Nobody else can come in. You know, when you're listening to the guiding that I'm giving you, I'm still leading you. When you do this on your own, your intentions will lead you. Your higher selves will lead you.
Yeah, that is quite an interesting difference once you get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's where you all have to take the time to go count yourself down and count yourself back up, and you get more and more used to it.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I can do 3 3 3 2 2 2 1 1 1. It's done. I can do it when I shouldn't say that, if I'm walking or, you know, whatever, you know, it's easy. I don't even have to close my eyes anymore.
Right,
Don't have to do that.
Exactly.
But in the beginning I did, you know, when I was doing this, and
For many years I did, but not now.
Right. I've done hours and hours and hours of this. And I have to tell you, Mickey, right before I actually signed on, what I saw on Facebook was that picture of you and Jack. And I gotta tell you, it is so delightful to see it. And I will add that to the comments at the bottom.
It kicked off my meditation today, that very photo.
Let's see.
It was dangled in front of me. See, remember this. So yeah, I love that picture very much. I had forgotten about that.
Didn't work. I don't know how to do this. I'll figure it out before we.
I just put it in. You put it in later. Exactly.
I
But it's
oh my
getting-
God. Oh my God. I need to stop playing.
I thought you left that behind.
Mercury retrograde is kicking my butt still.
Oh,
When is this over for us?
3 weeks,
3 weeks? 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
roughly. Roughly.
it
I
can't-
can look it up and see. And you
It'll
know,
be about the second week in September, right?
right.
Well, it happens so often that, it just does it again.
Right. It's just a slight adjustment in how you're going through your day, and then you learn to just be a little more tentative about making appointments.
Or getting on the internet.
This is kind of bad, though.
Well, it doesn't have to be bad. And that's something else. Look at it as a better way.
Yeah.
Maybe
Calmness.
a way of, right, this is a calm period. This is a period to go within. This is a period
Well,
of.
it's a perfect time for planning,
Yes.
Yes.
not a time for executing. It's a
Right.
time for planning. And spend the whole of it planning, and then as soon as you see it come out of it, then go and follow your plan.
Yeah.
But it gives you 3 weeks to get your plan together.
It is. It is. So we just have to look at it in a positive light. I love it.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think I'm ready to say bye-bye.
Okay.
I can't see Facebook anymore. Facebook was making noise. Oh, there it is. There's Facebook. Okay, so I want to definitely say goodbye to Audrey. Thank you for joining us. And Erica, thank you for being here. And it says there's more people here. So I want to thank you and say goodbye to everybody and my 2 guests for being here. Here, I'll turn it around so you can see them.
Great one.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, Mickey.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you,
Bye.
Kate.
Bye-bye.